Your dad told you to do it. Your granddad told you to do it. Even that bloke Dave down the pub told you to do it. Pay off the mortgage, son. Get debt-free. Once you own the bricks, nobody can touch you. It sounds sensible, doesn't it? It feels safe. It feels responsible. But what if I told you that by following that advice in 2026, you are literally setting fire to £100,000 of your own future wealth? What if I told you that being mortgage-free is actually one of the riskiest financial positions you can be in? Today I'm going to show you the maths that the banks don't want you to see. We are going to watch a fight between two identical people, sensible Steve and investor Ian. And by the end of this video, you'll realize why your debt might actually be your best friend. Before we get to the maths, we need to address the elephant in the room. Why is pay off the mortgage such common advice? Because 30 years ago it was correct. In 1990, UK interest rates hit 15%. If your mortgage is costing you 15%, then paying it off is the best investment on earth. You are getting a guaranteed 15% return. But you don't live in 1990. You don't have a mullet and you aren't paying 15%. We have spent the last decade in a low-interest world. Even now in 2026, rates are hovering around 4 or 5%. The rules of the game have changed, but the advice hasn't caught up. Applying 1990s logic to a 2026 economy isn't sensible. It's financial suicide, and here is why. Let's set the scene. Meet Steve and Ian. They are identical, both 35 years old, both earn 50 grand, both have a £200,000 mortgage at a rate of 4%, and both have managed to squeeze an extra £500 a month out of their budget. Steve listens to his dad. He hates debt. He wants to be free. So every single month he sends that £500 straight to the bank as a mortgage overpayment. Ian is different. Ian watches this channel. He knows that 4% debt is cheap money. So he puts his £500 into a boring global index fund inside a stocks and shares ISA, assuming a historic average return of 8%. Fast forward 20 years. Steve is popping the champagne. He is 55 and mortgage-free. He owns the house. He feels like a king. Ian still has a mortgage. He still owes the bank money. So Steve wins, right? Wrong. Steve has lost, and he has lost big. Let's look at the numbers. Steve has paid off his house early. He saved himself about £50,000 in interest. That's great. Well done, Steve. But look at Ian. Over those same 20 years, Ian's £500 a month has been compounding at 8%. Thanks to the magic of the stock market, his ISA pot is now worth roughly £296,000. Yes, Ian still owes money on the house. But here is the kicker. He can write a check today to pay off the remaining mortgage balance and still have roughly £140,000 left over in cash. Steve has a house. Ian has a house and a Ferrari's worth of cash in the bank. Why? Because of the arbitrage gap. The difference between the 4% cost of the debt and the 8% growth of the market. Steve killed the 4% debt. Ian captured the 4% profit. And before you say it, yes, markets go up and down. But over a 20-year period, betting on the global economy usually beats betting on a bank's savings rate. Now the clever ones among you are screaming at the screen. But Baz, Steve paid his mortgage off early. Once he has no mortgage, he can start investing double. It doesn't matter. He's too late. Compound interest needs time. It needs fuel. Ian started his snowball rolling at age 35. Steve waited until he was 48 to start investing. Even if Steve invests aggressive amounts for those last few years, he can never catch Ian. You cannot make up for lost time. Time in the market beats timing the mortgage. But wait, it gets worse for Steve. Because Ian didn't even use his secret weapon. In that last example, we used an ISA. But what if Ian put that £500 into his workplace pension or a SIP? If Ian is a higher rate taxpayer, creating £100 of value in a pension only costs him £60 from his net pay, thanks to tax relief. That is an instant return on investment before the money is even invested. Your mortgage is costing you 4%. Your pension gives you an instant 20% or 40% boost via tax relief, plus compound growth. Paying off a 4% debt when you could get a 40% tax uplift is mathematically insane. It is like refusing a free pay rise just so you can give more money to Lloyd's Bank. Now I need to add a caveat here. I am not telling you to never overpay. There is a sweet spot. It's called loan-to-value, or LTV. Mortgage lenders give the best interest rates to people who own at least 40% of their home. That is the magic 60% LTV band. If you have a 90% mortgage, your interest rate is probably high. In that case, yes, overpay aggressively until you get down to that 60% band. But once you hit 60% LTV, the banks stop giving you better deals. You have hit the floor. At that point, every extra pound you overpay has diminishing returns. Steve kept overpaying long past the point of usefulness. Ian recognized the sweet spot and switched to investing. But let's forget the maths for a second. Let's talk about survival. Everyone thinks paying off the mortgage is safe. But let me ask you a question. If you lose your job tomorrow, can you eat your front door? Can you pay your electricity bill with a roof tile? No. Steve is asset-rich, cash-poor. His money is trapped in the walls of his house. If he needs cash, he has to beg the bank for a loan. And guess what? Banks don't lend money to unemployed people. Ian is different. If Ian loses his job, he has nearly 300 grand in a liquid ISA. He can click a button on his phone and have cash in his account in 2 hours. Who is actually safer? The guy with the paid-off house who can't buy food? Or the guy with the mortgage who has 10 years of living expenses in the bank? Liquidity is safety. Equity is vanity. There is one more thing Steve forgot. Inflation. Inflation is usually the enemy. But if you have debt, inflation is your best mate. Your mortgage is fixed in nominal terms. You borrowed £200,000. In 20 years, you still owe £200,000, minus what you paid. But in 20 years, thanks to inflation, £200,000 won't buy you a house. It might buy you a nice Ford Fiesta. Over time, inflation erodes the real value of your debt. The bank is lending you money today that you pay back with less valuable money tomorrow. By rushing to pay it back early, Steve is voluntarily giving the bank valuable money today instead of waiting to give them worthless money in 2040. Stop doing the bank's job for them. Now look, I know what you're thinking. But Baz, I just want the peace of mind. I don't want to owe anyone anything. And I get that. The maths is logical, but money is emotional. If having a mortgage keeps you awake at night, then pay it off. The best financial plan is the one that lets you sleep. But don't call it an investment. Call it what it is, a luxury. Paying off your mortgage is a luxury purchase. You are spending £140,000 of your future wealth to buy the feeling of safety today. If you are rich enough to afford that luxury, go for it. But if you are like most of us, trying to build a retirement from scratch, that is an expensive pill to swallow. So, what should you do? If you're scared of the stock market but don't want to be broke like Steve, do the hybrid method. Take that £500 overpayment. Put £250 into the mortgage to keep your dad happy. Put £250 into an S&P 500 or global index fund to keep future you happy. You hedge your bets. You reduce the debt and you build a liquid cash pile. Because remember, the goal isn't just to be debt-free. The goal is to be financially free, and they are not the same thing. Before you go, I need a favor. I'm planning the next few videos and I want to cover the stuff that matters to real people, not the how to get rich quick rubbish. Are you worried about inheritance tax? Confused about overpaying the mortgage? Or maybe you just want to know if premium bonds are actually worth it? Put your suggestions in the comments. The most popular one gets the next video. Go on, let's hear it. Right, hopefully that made sense. If you want more honest money tips without the waffle, do me a massive favor. Hit the like button and make sure you subscribe to the channel. Let's get your money sorted. See you in the next one. Cheers.